and then
Funny books.
we'll focus on last week's highlights.
Are we talking
and then
about
we'll
funny
go for next
books?
week. Are we talking about funny books?
I didn't bring a jammy Dojo, no.
Oh my goodness.
We brought tea. We're having tea at the Wakizashi's Grey's Teahouse.
Eric's got the tea. I've got some
tea.
coffee. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Wakizashi's Teahouse. This is Gray, and this is Eric O'Sullivan, or better known as Sully. How are you doing, Sully?
I'm very well, thank you very much, Gray. I am, hello, well, Reverend Sully, ordained on the internet. I'm the master of tactical and practical spirituality, and also I try to interpret it in my comic book love, too. My lifelong love of floppies and comic books, and Gray and I are comic book friends, and we're also comics aficionados. You might have seen us together or separately on Wes's Thinking Critical Saturday panel show once in a blue moon, and it's nice to be part of that gang.
Once in a blue moon? Come on, you are a regular. I am a very once in a blue moon at the moment.
It's nice to have a place at the table. I'll tell you that much.
It is.
You know, and it's like, he invited me on about a year and a half ago. I don't know how he stumbled into my channel somehow and liked my videos, and he just kept inviting me. And, you know...
Is that how it started? I had no idea. That's awesome.
I mean, yeah, and it's just like he liked my videos. He was like, why aren't you buying, like, Jeremy Adams' The Flash? You would like this. Or why aren't you buying Mark Waid's World's Finest? You would like this. And he was right. And so they got me back into... buying comic books every Wednesday.
That's cool. I know. I love that as well. Like, I'm so jealous. I always see it because I know, you know, I'm in Japan. You're in the States. I'm in a small town. If I was in Tokyo or Osaka, I could go to a comic book shop. I could probably get floppies at the weekends, the weekend after they come out. But I'm in a little seaside town, and I can order them like by post, but it's not the same, mate. I miss going into a comic book shop. You know, just browsing, just mooching, as we say in England, mooching around,
perusing the shelves. One could say, yeah. I'm in Boston, Massachusetts, USA, and I have no lie, 8 different local comic book shops within striking distance of this.
Oh my God!
My fortress of solitude. Yes, and
that sounds amazing. I'm so jealous. You wouldn't
and
believe
just
right
on
now.
public transportation as well. I mean, yeah, and like the 3 of them are part of one chain store called New England Comics, and you might know them from their own labels, The Tick.
The Tick?
Yeah,
I do know The Tick. I do know The Tick, yes.
And The Tick and Arthur and everyone that originated here in Massachusetts.
Wait a minute, did you say Arthur? I'm looking for a clip. Did you say Arthur? Here we go. Let's drop a clip. Merlin! Gabriel Byrne plays
Uther
Arthur's
Pendragon.
Father in that. Yeah. Oh
Uther Pendragon.
Uther Pendragon. Yeah, it's fantastic. I love that movie, Eric.
Ravishes his friend's wife.
Ravishing.
That's the way to put it. Yeah, it was the 20th century time.
So here we are. We're talking comics from last week and hopefully picks of the week from the coming week. So, Eric, let's start with you. What were some of the highlights from last week? What are your picks? What do you recommend to people out there they pick up?
Well, I end up reading a bunch of comic books every week. A friend that shares with me some review copies, and I like to refer to it as my digital pirate chest. And also, I think it's like Gray knows this old BBC show. I think it's a British music show called The Old Grey Whistle Test.
Oh, yes, I love that show.
And
I do. You can find it on YouTube as well. You can find various episodes.
It's so good. It's live performances, deep cuts by good bands of the 70s and 80s. But the Grey Whistle Test was, the Greys were the doormen at the clubs. And if your band was good enough, if you had a catchy hook to a song, they'd be whistling it. And that was the Grey Whistle Test. If you were cool enough, that the Greys were whistling your song, then you had the sauce. And if it's good enough for me that I like it, I will buy it on a floppy. And I have evidence of that for this very week. I do.
Okay, awesome. Have you got some physical copies there? Oh my goodness.
I'll show you this week's Funny Books.
Stop sharing a second. Here we go.
I will share with you this week's funny books. I bought.
Can I make you full screen, Eric? You don't mind?
Sure.
Yeah, there we go.
I don't mind. I bought 2 facsimiles. I got the giant size
God,
X-Men.
the giant size X-Men, awesome.
Yeah, $7.99, but it's 68 pages, and it's a reprint of the 1975 comic book. I was way too young to have bought that, but I was, young enough to be on the planet. Let's put it that way.
Eric, can you show the back cover again one more time? I used to love that as a kid. I always thought it looked amazing. I had no idea what it was, but I wanted to be in America when I saw that back cover. Look at that.
This too, like prizes for cash.
Prizes for cash.
Yeah, check out this one too. We they kept it. They kept it.
Look, I love the way they keep the original ads, the commercials. That's so good.
Fly rods and. I wonder if they kept the BB gun ads. If they would they go that far? Oh, that would be good.
I always wanted a Twinkie. I didn't know what they were, but I wanted to try a Twinkie from the comic book advertisements when I was a kid.
Then they had this one too. X-Men 101.
101, yeah.
It's dark.
Is that a special
Phoenix.
issue?
Yeah, that's Phoenix. First appearance of Phoenix. The apparent death of Jean Grey.
Oh my God! Look at that.
Look at this art too.
Page there that looks amazing.
Yeah.
Dave Cockrum on art.
Yeah, this is originally a 1979 book, I believe, and X-Men 101 to go with some my X-Men on my spinner rack. But I read this book in the digital pirate chest, and this is 007 James Bond.
Oh yes,
written by Garth Ennis.
Yes, I read it as well.
This was good, and it was so good that I paid the $4.99 for this, for a physical copy. And if you like if you like Garth Ennis, if you like his Punisher, if you like his Preacher, then you're going to love James Bond 007. This was just, if Steve Dillon was still alive, this would have been the perfect book for him. This would have been
here. Oh my God.
totally. It's League of Comic Geeks. This is we all go here. It's called Your Cold Cold Heart, Part 1, and it's good. It's got the sauce.
It was a good issue. It's kind of setting things up. There's a lot of, of course, exposition because it's an issue 1, but I enjoyed it, Eric. I enjoyed it very much.
Oh, those look like last week's ones, and move it up one more for the week.
Okay, gotcha.
There you go.
There we go. Look at me, boomering again. Here we go.
That's fine. We're of an age.
That's it. I got it. What do you think of the cover, by the way? People were saying like, "Oh, I don't like this cover," but I thought it was pretty cool.
Sure. I mean, the cover's the cover. I mean, but the cover didn't suck. I mean,
no.
Are there any variants for it? Did I miss a variant cover? Let's have a look.
Let's go through. I'm sure there's like 25 because it's Dynamite.
No
way.
No Dynamite. Yeah.
That's very rare. There's no variants.
Especially a cheesecake variant of a Bond girl for Dynamite Comics. That sounds
I would love that. Yeah.
Wow.
Let's see. Any reviews? There's a couple of reviews. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 reviews. People saying this is really, really good.
It's really
good.
It's
great. It's rough,
over the
but
top,
it's fun.
Grotesque. In that Garth Ennis style, and I just totally see like the guy who's drawing it is he's doing it in a kind of Steve Dillon kind of style. If you don't know Steve Dillon, he was a partner with Garth Ennis for on Punisher and on Preacher. And
God rest his soul. And Hellblazer. He was with Garth for his Hellblazer run. Eric, we were talking about that behind the scenes. We were talking like Hellblazer. Hellblazer's back. I'm so excited. Cy Spurrier. He might be a little bit highfalutin at times, but he does get John Constantine's voice.
And speaking of, I got.
Do you have it?
Right here.
I'm so jealous. Here we go.
I wish they had the. I wish they had the Sean Phillips. Variant cover.
I wanted that variant. That variant looks so cool, the Sean Phillips one. But the main cover by Aaron Campbell is amazing. I love it.
But this is, and you're the one that informed me that that there are previous ones to this series of this Constantine, John, or is it Constantine?
I have no idea. Alan Moore from Birmingham, mate. He says it's Constantine, but I always say Constantine. I can't help it.
But this is great because this seems to be the original recipe Vertigo Constantine.
Yes, exactly.
Pre-Vertigo too.
I missed him so much. I missed him, Eric.
Vertigo started in 1993 as an imprint, and Hellblazer started in '89, and so did Sandman by Gaiman. So I mean, those two those two had like more tie-in with the the prime DC universe at the time before 1993 and before the Vertigo imprint kicked in. You know, Constantine was DC Universe, just a
Yes,
little
he
dark corner
was.
of it. Yeah, and so was Sandman. So
I love
Sandman,
that. I love the way they used to
yeah.
like tie into each other sometimes. You know, you'd
Yeah.
get what was going on in Sandman and would like reflect in
Mm-hmm.
Hellblazer, you know, without like being over the top, without over explaining it. It was really well done.
It was very well done. Let's see, what else did I get this week? I got
Okay, let's put you full
GI
screen. Here we
Joe.
go.
GI
G.I.
Joe,
Joe,
a
a
real
real
American.
American hero.
Number 303.
That's a great cover, by the way. That G.I.
Yeah,
Joe cover. That's awesome.
they're Andy Kubert.
Look at
Yeah,
that.
it's really good stuff. That's Serpentor Khan. The yeah.
Eric, you know me, like growing up in the UK, it wasn't a big thing over here. We had the kind of our version of it, but were you big into G.I. Joe in the
Yeah,
States?
big. I mean, I've been reading GI Joe since I was a kid. I mean, I had a mail in Marvel subscription to GI Joe. I talked my mom into it
No
because I was like,
way.
we could save 20% an issue. You know, if we got a mail. I For 2 years, I had GI Joe arrive at my house monthly in a brown paper wrapper. It started about issue 15 to
Yeah, I tell you, man,
probably
I
about.
always wanted to subscribe to the DC comics, and I never
Mhm.
did because you know, living in the UK, I'm so jealous right now. I
Yeah.
don't believe
Oh,
it.
to almost to about issue 30 or so, and I bought it too after
No
that just for a
way.
little while. But yeah, I got issue 21 in the mail. And I went to go see Return of the Jedi like the same week. I remember that having issue 21, the famous Snake Eyes Silent Intrude issue, the
Oh
first
my
appearance of Storm
god, I
Shadow,
loved Snake Eyes.
rolled up in my back pocket. 7 years old, 8 years old, going to see. I remember going to get ice cream after seeing Return of the Jedi and having that very floppy with me. Yeah.
I know we talked about it before, but in the UK we had it was called Action Force. We had Action Man, which was the bigger, you know, the doll version, and then Action Force was the GI
Mm-hmm.
Joe version. It was so cool. We had a comic as well, and then
Mm-hmm.
eventually it became the GI Joe version. And I loved Storm Shadow. I
Mm-hmm.
loved Snake Eyes. My God.
I love the Action Force line of action figures.
Yeah,
It's
me
because a
too.
lot of them were a bit more realistic, like especially the specialized British um, armed forces. Like you had the SAS, you had the paratrooper, and then you had World War II throwback ones, and especially
Yes.
like bad guy ones. You had actual Nazi, action figures. So, you know what I mean? It was just as bad guys that
You couldn't make them now, could you, Eric? Well, maybe you
would
could. Who
probably, I
knows? Who
don't know,
knows?
who exactly, but it's like who
Oh
besides
dear.
Lemmy would want that? And I also got a Cobra Commander issue 1. Apparently, I'm in for the Energon universe. This was fun,
What did you think of it?
and
Because I've heard people like criticizing not the story but the art. But I had a great time with it. I really enjoyed it. I like the weird style to it because it's something different. Yeah.
yeah, it's and I like the ending, the last page of it too, because it just like brings everything full
Oh
circle,
God,
and
yeah. I
I
know.
really enjoyed that. But okay, so when I was a kid, I was a Generation 1 GI Joe fan, so I had the action figures, everything from like 1981 up until 1984 when I started
Okay.
aging out. 85, I was starting to age out. Yeah, that's when I was turning 13. And 1985 is when GI Joe the movie came out. 1986 rather. So I'm about 13 years old when this comes out,
Yeah.
and like properly aging out. And that's when the mythos of the show changes. Now, Marvel Comics had a different continuity, and but the TV show and the movie had something called Cobra Law. Now, lots of people might have grown up with Cobra Law as part and parcel of the GI Joe experience.
I didn't know this, Eric. Just to butt in here, I had no
Mm-hmm.
idea what Cobra La was, and I
Uh-huh.
heard it was a reference to the movie. So yeah, please let people know what that is.
Cobra La was a mythical place, kind of like Shangri-La, but it was where the
Okay.
Cobra people lived. That's where Cobra Commander came from. So we had Cobra Commander's origin story, that he was kind of like an alien on Earth. He had like a group of kind of like lizardy people, like or snake people that live in Cobra La. And so it's this convoluted kind of like over the top thing that just kind of changed everything about G.I. Joe. And so we revisit Cobra La in Cobra Commander 1. And so it's going to be part of the story going forward. But they did a lot better job with Cobra La in here than in the original movie, in my humble opinion. But yeah, so that's my thing of Cobra La.
Let's have a quick look here. Here we go. It's a fictional civilization created by Hasbro for the military-themed toy line and TV series G.I. Joe, a real American hero. Introduced to the public in G.I. Joe the movie and the 1987 series of action figures. Cobra La was created as a reference to James Hilton's Lost Horizon, and the name itself is a pun on, as you said, Eric, I can't even say it, Shangri-La. There we go. Awesome, thank you.
Indeed.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that was it for my physical copies.
Okay.
Last week I read a bunch. You know what, we talk a lot about Amazing Spider-Man, and we're literally in the middle of Gang War. Which
yes.
I
found it quite boring, the last issue. It was a lot of talking, a lot of where's Spider-Man? Hello, Spider-Man! In my own book, where am I?
But I love the John Romita Jr. art. I mean, even when it's a little rough, I'm
enjoying it too, to be fair, yeah.
It's still visually very pleasing to me. He's been literally on and off of Amazing Spider-Man for 43 years. I mean, and that's just amazing that I've grown up. I think everyone has now at this point. Everyone's grown up with John Romita Jr. drawing their Spider-Man.
I think people forget that it's coming out twice a month. People were saying this latest issue was looked a little bit rushed, or wasn't great on the details. But he's doing 2 issues a month. I don't know how far ahead they are, Eric, but that must be hard to keep that schedule.
Well, he's an old pro, so it's a lot of it has to do with muscle memory, and he does pencils on paper, and so he hands it off to Scott Hanna, who does inking from there, and just it's wonderful that it's that's old school, and it has I love how Romita's style has evolved over the decades. I mean, weren't you reading Amazing Spider-Man about around 1999 2000? You know what I mean? J. Michael Straczynski and John Romita Jr. and Scott Hanna, and even then they had their style is evolved even from that point too. It's just there's when Romita did Kick-Ass, I think his style took a quantum leap.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it was something to it. He just pushed himself into a new area. And so he's been on this, I call it post Kick-Ass Romita Jr. Yeah. 21st century Romita Jr. in a way,
Just show some of the art here. Yeah. I think it's good. I like it. I like his style, but people are kind of divided on it, aren't they?
Yeah. And it's I really think that Romita Jr.'s art is elevating Zeb Wells' otherwise mediocre story. To be honest, I think the fight sequences are well paced. Some of the She-Hulk looks bad. Some of the Kingpin looks kind of rough. So I like seeing Typhoid Mary look like Typhoid Mary, because Typhoid Mary was co-created by Annie Nocenti and John Romita Jr. in the early '90s on Daredevil, and I was reading it back then too in high school. So it was that. I love seeing a very authentic looking Typhoid Mary. She's a pretty scary bad girl.
I'm the same as you, mate. I was lucky enough. I didn't know at the time to be reading Daredevil during Ann Nocenti's run, and I saw the introduction of that. I wish I still had all my copies, my issues. They've gone, they're lost to time. But great to see her.
We can get them back. That's one thing I guess I'm working on.
Yeah.
As a comic book collector, and it doesn't even matter what their grade or their quality is. I'm not in slabbed comics because I like to read my comics. but
I'm the
I love,
same. Yeah.
yeah, huh? And but I just like getting comics of a certain age that I would have bought or I did buy back then that are long gone, and so that just pleases me. The nostalgia, the touchstone of it.
Well, having a look at this, as I say, I always use League of Comic Geeks. This is the pull list according to the the users.
Mm-hmm.
So Nightwing's on top there, and don't read it. But from this list, Eric, I'm a little bit behind this week. I've been kind of busy with various things, but I would recommend Cobra Commander,
Mm-hmm.
definitely. Something new to try. I would go for Hellblazer, Dead in America. I was a big fan of it, but as you know, Eric, I did a review on YouTube, but it's not really had much traction. I don't think there's much interest in that, that's kind of surprised me. I mean, I know he's not a massive seller, John Constantine. It's not a
Mm-hmm.
great, big title, but I thought there'd be more interest in this. I don't know about you. What do you reckon? Did you read it, by the way? And what did you think?
I read it, yeah, and I liked it, and it because it's tonally fits with every issue of Hellblazer I
Yeah,
ever
yeah, I think so
read.
too.
I mean, I know I literally read issues 1 through 200 twice over, without what I mean. And then I've had some flings, with some arcs between
Same here.
what
I'm
did
the
it end?
same. Sounds like the same as you. Yeah, yeah.
When did it end? Like 350 or so, 300, 350? I
He got
forget.
to 300 and they ended it. Yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah,
just such a shame.
I
It
got
was
that last issue
Peter.
too.
Was it Peter Milligan was on it? Wasn't it at the end?
Yeah.
And I didn't read his run. I read bits and pieces, but I didn't. I wasn't reading it regularly when he was on.
Yeah, but I bought the last issue and it's on my spinner rack, and I love the last page of the last issue because it's so fitting. And do you remember what the last page was?
I can't remember off the top of my head.
It,
No, what was it?
it was like the worst fate for John ever. It was, or he ended up just being a fucking bloke in a Liverpool pub, with the kit jersey on and the hat, with his mates, in the pub,
I'm a
and
nasty piece of work. Ask anyone, Chief. There we go. Can you do Liverpool accent, Eric? Let's try.
Liverpool, the Liverpool accent.
When I try it, I always sound like Birmingham. We kind of get mixed up with both of them.
John's broken a glass. I've broken a glass. Paul's broken a glass. A glass he's broke today. John Lennon said that.
John Lennon. So for me, that was that was pretty much the highlight of last week. Let's
I
have a
thought
look.
I thought Avengers Twilight was pretty good.
Was that good? I haven't read that yet.
Well, because
Okay.
I like Daniel Acuna's art a
Yeah.
lot. He did
Let's
he
have
did a
look. Here
run
we
with
go.
Jeff Johns on Green Lantern before Flashpoint, so that's going on
Okay.
15 years ago. But man, what a stunning artist, and I liked the world that
Oh, it's
they
Chip
built.
Zdarsky. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a Chip Zdarsky book, but it's
Mm,
it's set in a future where all the heroes are a little older and there is a next generation. So
yeah.
Steve Rogers is an older man. Luke Cage, Matt Murdock, they're all old men now. And but New York in the future, it just it looks like a really nice future New York. And then there's a scene where they're talking inside of Central Park, and it really reminded me of literally being inside Central Park, because
Okay.
I mean, if you've I've been to Manhattan a few times, and so it is hustle, hustle, bustle. It's Manhattan, just like you see on the TV. But then when you go into Central Park, you literally get a respite from like that. You can still kind of hear things here and there, but it's green, it's verdant, and it's a softer sound, and so it's like they really nailed New York
Mm,
in this, in New York, Marvel Manhattan is its own character, so it's I really liked it. Yeah, I look forward to what's next.
it looks like it's getting good reviews, mostly very high. Looking at yeah, cool. Okay, I'll have to check that out. Eric, thanks for the recommendation. I
Yeah,
haven't checked it out yet. I will do.
Cable
Let's have-
#1 was pretty good. I it's Fall of X, and it's Fabian Nicenza is writing it, so he knows the character pretty darn well. He's been writing him for about 30 years. And
Here we go. Okay.
Cable #1, yeah, it's like one of these throwaway minis in it's the Fall of the House of X. It's no longer Fall of X. Okay. It's the Fall of the House of X.
Nice. Just looking through some of the variant covers there. Ooh, look at that one. Wow.
Let's see, Miracle
Is that
Man.
John Romita Jr.? No
That
way.
that looks like him.
It says it on there. I don't know if it is or not, but it does.
Yeah,
That's
that's
kind of a
Romita
different style,
Jr.
isn't it? No way.
Yeah.
Cool. Ooh, that's a nice one. Carlos Villa. Awesome. Okay, thanks for the recommendation. I don't know the character that well. I've never really got into the X-Men. I know, right? Shocking, right? But it's a series that I don't know why it just passed me by when I was young. I never got into it. I think I was put off by it was up to like issue 200 and something when I was buying comics, so I just didn't pick it up.
Hey, here's one that I've been enjoying too. It's Catwoman. I've been enjoying Catwoman for the past 3 issues.
Really? Okay,
Yeah,
let's have a look.
Teenie
Just
Howard is
click
writing
on there.
Catwoman, and everyone loves Teenie Howard.
Right? Especially Jim from Weird Science Comics.
Exactly. But okay, so this is after the Gotham War. I mean, the Gotham War. So
The Gotham Boar. I like it.
Selena's got a new status quo, and I love that cover. Oh,
That
that's
was
so
awesome,
cool.
wasn't it? Ooh,
Yeah.
wow. Hello. Hello.
Exactly.
Goodness gracious.
So her cover story is everyone thinks Selena is dead, and
Okay.
and she's got this kind of weird power now because she was exposed to some Lazarus, um, a Lazarus pool, a meteor rock or something, and so she's back in purple. I love this purple outfit. This is an older style of Catwoman outfit. So she's been purple again, without without the stupid S&M kind of trappings of like the choker or the complete black leather look. I mean, the purple outfit is it's iconic, and it looks either superheroine or her super villainous kind of look. But I really like this because it's more comic booky. She's got the purple outfit, she's got the whip, and she's got 9 lives, so she can go over the edge and try to do things that she couldn't do, and spend a life. You know what I mean? So what happens when she's at the end of her 9 lives? Who knows? That's part of the story. So we're only in the middle of it, but it's been 3 issues in a row. But the artist, Rafale, this is an Italian guy, and he's got this like really nice, fine line work, and the tradition of Italian male Italian artists. It's got some gusto to it. It's got some machismo to it because the women have very good femininity to them. It's like Milo Manara, another Italian. He's like the master of Italian beautiful women in comics, and so I can see this young man as following in Milo Manara's tradition. Beautiful drawn women. So I mean, 3 for 3. The past 3 issues of Catwoman for me have just been aces. I really liked it. And that's
awesome. That's a hot recommend from Sully. Catwoman, please do check it out if you're not sure. So Eric, before we move on to the upcoming, like this week, the new releases, anything else to shout out from last week?
Well, yeah, I mean, okay, I'm not a big fan of Lansing and Kelly, but Guardians of the Galaxy number 10 is amazing. I mean,
there we go.
I've been reading it for a couple of months, but what gets me for this magazine recently is the art by Kev Walker. Kev Walker used to do 2000 AD, and he's a British guy.
Yeah, I know his name from there. Yeah.
He's just his amazing line work. But I mean, the story is very accessible. It uses like the movie, crew, which I don't even like the movies, but I found it like between the info dump page and the beginning, it was just like, oh, well, this was really easy to follow.
I love this variant here, Eric. By
yeah,
Luciano Vecchio. Look at that, a ROM variant.
And ROM has variant covers this month. There are Wolverine 50th anniversary variant covers this month, and I think there are Peach Momoko variants as well. I'm a sucker for a Peach Momoko variant. That'll get me every time.
Me too. I'm a big fan.
And let's see. If you like Star Wars comic books, I mean, I've given it a try in my digital pirate chests, and I've been reading Star Wars: The High Republic, Volume 3, and Star Wars: The High Republic: Shadow of Starlight, and both of them they're pretty decent, and They're just Star Wars stories, and they're
It's getting
probably
some tough love, should we say? Some really harsh reviews by the look of it
which
on
one?
this
The
site. The Guardians of the Galaxy. Just having a quick scroll down.
really
There's a couple of 1 stars and 2 stars, but there's a 4 star there as well.
well.
Okay,
I'm thinking that
interesting.
yeah, I would have left the 4-star one because I'm not even really into Lansing and Kelly's stuff. I mean, they're doing Outsiders. They're doing uh, what else are they doing? They're doing that bloody awful Thunderbolts. Oh, dude, that's oh wow, what a yikes.
Not
But
been good. Yeah.
but you know what? I mean, see, I enjoy having respectful words to say and even enjoying a magazine written by a creator that I pretty much don't like. Like, see, like Wonder Woman #5 by Tom King. I hate Tom King. But guess what? This issue is pretty darn good, in my humble opinion. So, and
I'll
the
tell you
thing,
what. The art. Whatever you think of Tom King, the art. The art is it by is it
Daniel Sampere.
Daniel
Yeah.
Sampere? It's amazing. It's so good.
So good. And I
Yeah, it
love
is.
all in this issue, it's just about Diana talking to all of her Wonder Girls. And each one of the Wonder Girls wants to help her out in her upcoming big fight. And Diana's saying, "No, you're staying out of it. And what we're going to do is settle this. And we're going to have the Amazonian right of combat, and you're going to lose, and you're going to shut up and say, "Oh, you're staying out. That's my condition." And they all face off against Diana in their own way, and it's really nice. I love Yara Fleur. I think she's like a really unexplored character, and from what I've seen of her, like what she's allowed to have as a character, I really like her. And then there's Cassie Sadensmark, and she's pretty spot on. And there's Donna Troy, who's I grew up as a new Teen Titans fan, man, and just like I love Donna Troy, and yeah, this was great. This like they have to put on another arrow for everyone, like you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So it's
As I
it was
say, it
pretty
looks
good.
gorgeous. It's beautifully drawn. Really, really good art. I'm not that sold on Tom King
Yeah, me neither.
ever since Batman. So,
Yeah, for me it was Heroes in Crisis.
okay.
Yet I'll say
Wow.
that Wonder Woman #5 was pretty good, but also Tom King's The Penguin. He's doing a Penguin mini right now, and
Yeah.
I think that's a really good title for him to be himself in. He likes to torture characters.
He sure does, doesn't he? Look
He
at Heroes in
does.
Crisis, yeah.
Exactly, and The Penguin is a really nice place to do it because it's about a bad guy, and he's trying to get a crew back together and try to be, so he's going to try to get his share of Gotham back, and he needs a crew, and the shit he pulls to get a crew together of misfits and skill set people.
The
It's
band, Eric. Getting the
the
band back
band.
together. The band. Where are we? Okay, let's share him. Okay, let's have a look at what's coming up for this week or the new week. Let's have a look. Here we go.
What's coming up this week?
I tell you what, I'm excited for Spawn 349 because that means it's only one issue to 350, which will be at the end of January or early February. I can't wait for that. Brett Booth is taking over from 350 on the art duties, so it should be really good. Hopefully, looking forward to seeing how it goes. But let's have a look at this top row here. We've got Detective X-Force. Wow, Green Arrow.
I've been reading
Thor.
Tech.
Are you reading it?
I've been reading Tech. Yeah.
What
it's
do you
in my-
think? Ram V's epic.
It's a slow burn and it's wonderful. I love the art, the Sean Jason Alexander's art, and it's reminiscent of Kelly Jones's Batman with the really pointy ears and the curled shoulders at the cape, and just
I
like,
love his art too. I'm
like
the same one with you
moody.
there. The
Yeah.
art is excellent.
It's
He's
so
from
good.
he used to be on Spawn
Really?
as well. Yeah,
Oh,
really,
it's
really good artist.
It's really good. It's a slow burn, and some people are just like really hit or miss on Ram V. I've only really cottoned on to him, and so I'm really appreciating. I want to go back and read his 16 issues of Swamp Thing at this point.
Me too.
You know.
I kind of dropped out of that. I should go back to it. Eric, have you ever read his independent vampire story, These Savage Shores? It's really good.
No.
Worth a look.
I haven't. I'm reading his independent one called Rare Flavors.
Oh
And
yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's got lots of buzz in the comics people's.
Look at that. That's a nice black and white variant there by,
Yeah.
is it Evan Kagel? Kagel, wow. Nice. Okay, cool. Sounds good. Let's go back.
Very nice.
Very nice, love.
And
We've got the new issue of Gods is out, issue 4. Have you been reading that by Hickman?
oh gods.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
So maybe something will happen in this issue.
I know, right? Yeah. Someone said like there's a good story buried underneath all the dialogue there if you can find it. That's what I heard.
Yeah, it's I just I don't know. Hickman's been a miss for me. That's like he always has
Me
been.
too.
I never could connect with his. He had some like huge stuff on Avengers and that Illuminati stuff, and that
Yeah,
just what was that like the end of the world stuff with the Avengers, and well, that's a nice cover, and I like I'm a sucker for a variant cover. I really am.
Okay.
But I wouldn't buy this one though.
I'm so jealous. So you can go and buy them. You can go and pick them up in your
man.
comic book store.
Foil variant and 3D lenticular cover variants. There was a 3D lenticular cover variant for Beast World #1, and I almost bought it. But it's like, no, you don't.
We
need
attempted.
it. I was
Eric,
very tempted.
how much was it? Was it more expensive?
$6.99, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
Pretty sure, yeah. But it was like, yeah, you move it, and it's like it was Beast Boy, and you move it over, and it then turns into a giant Starro.
Sounds pretty awesome.
What
How
issue?
about Cy Spurrier on Flash? What have you been thinking about that? Because we really enjoyed him on Constantine on Hellblazer, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure about Flash, Eric, since he took over. How about you?
It's he's trying. You know what? Why not just hire Grant Morrison if you're going to write a Grant Morrison kind of story like this?
Right?
I mean,
I reckon they can't afford him, can they? I reckon these days.
I don't know.
He's too expensive.
You think? I mean, just.
Yeah.
But it's just. I don't know. I'm reading it. I like it. It's okay. I like the Mike Deodato Jr. line work, but then they just heap upon all these digital effects, especially it's called screen tone. It's those little dots that you see, and like we know it from growing up, because that's how things were colored. Those were basically pixels, and so nowadays they use that as an effect, to make it look comic booky. You don't have to have those little dots everywhere anymore. I mean, you don't have to use it for shading or for gravity and for lighting. They don't use it for that. They just throw it on top of an image as a filter to make it look like this looks comic booky, and this is a trend too. I mean, so it's like the same thing with Riley Rossmo's art in Sandman, which I think is great. But then again, they throw on top of all that beautiful line work and sequential panels and pacing, they throw on all this digital crap. Man.
Okay, let's go down to row 2. Let's have a look. Here we go. I'm looking forward to possibly, where are we? The Penguin. I'm not muted, am I? No, I'm not muted.
The Penguin,
Eric.
yeah.
I'm with you on that. I've been kind of enjoying it, which has surprised me because it's a Tom King series.
Yeah.
It's been pretty good. Here we go. Issue 6 comes out.
Like he's coerced the 4th of July to be his muscle, and like they're like such a team of C-list sad sacks that they're just used to be cannon fodder. And here so Tom King's gonna have fun pulling their wings off. Just. Yeah, but this is perfectly.
Some nice variants there, looking good. Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay.
Very nice.
Okay, good. That's good to know. Let's get back to the new releases. So Penguin 6 comes out, and second row, let's go back. Here we go. Superior Spider-Man, if you're reading that, issue 3 comes out, and the Titans Beast World, issue 5. There we go. I know Jim has been enjoying that. I think Wes as well from Thinking Critical. The Beast World has been pretty good. I've not got into it, Eric. I'm not sure about you, but I just didn't really get pulled in. I'm not sure why.
It's interesting. It's not terrible. It's a little fun. I'll tell you this much: it was the core title, Titans Beast World, was great when it was just just Ivan Rice, and this is supposed to be Ivan Rice's last
definitely.
Big thing at DC, and
Yeah.
He's just showing up to do some couple of pages in this issue, and it's like he's off of the rest of them. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he did the first two, and I feel like that was a bait and switch. You know.
Okay, let's go down to row 3. There's 2 here that catch my eye straight away. There's Dracula from James Tiny Onion and the Ghost Machine special issue 1. Look at this.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on Ghost Machine? This is $4.99. I think it's about 60 pages or something. Yeah, 64 pages.
It had some reprint stuff. I read a review copy of this already.
Okay.
How
was it?
It should have been an issue number 0, and it should have been advertised as such. It's a reprint of Geiger number 1, I believe, which is that Gary Frank and Jeff Johns.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
It was really good
miniseries. Yeah.
But I mean, it's also a 3-year-old, 4-year-old, floppy too. So it's originally that was their Substack stuff.
Okay, I didn't know they were doing that. I didn't know it was a reprint. Oh my goodness.
So, and then there's just introductory stuff like just like this would have been an issue number 0, info and primer stuff. So, and I'm a sucker for an issue 0. I like stuff like that. But good luck with that, guys, gals.
Interesting. Okay. Just looking there, there's quite a few. The writing and artist team on here is very exciting. I think I saw was it Peter J. Tomasi's on here, as well as, of course, Jeff Johns. You got Brad Meltzer, Lamont McGee. I don't know. Maital Zoot. Wow, great name, and of course Ivan Rice or
Ryan
Reese.
Hitch. Jason Faber.
Brian Hitch is there. Look at that. Francis Manipool.
This is like that's a murder. We call that a murderer's row.
It's pretty exciting. It's a good team. It could be, it could be great. Hopefully from now on. Let's see. Okay, let's get back down.
I wish them luck.
Me too.
I mean, because publishing's changing. I mean, geez. I mean, like look at something like it's called. Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man 2099.
Yeah.
There's been a new issue every week. So it's like this has been done. It's in the can. They've been sitting on it. And this is just releasing the floppies a step on the way to the trade paperback. Why even release it as a floppy? Sometimes I wonder, like, why not just go for the collection? Like do the crowdfunding thing, like, have a $25 comic book with a nice binding, no ads, all story.
Yeah.
It's not like they don't even use their ad space, practically anyway. I mean,
okay, there we go. Let's just go down. Anything else? Down to the 4th row. So, Eric, any more shout-outs? Any independents that might be coming out next week that you want to recommend to people? I'm not sure. I'm looking here, but nothing's really jumping out. Oh, Blade Runner 2039, issue 9 comes out. Okay.
Let's see. I'm reading there's Dear Editor. Everyone's been reading Dear Editor.
Here we go.
Everyone's like, it's weird.
Mad Cave Studios, yeah.
Yeah, this has been going around. Everyone's like, "Did you read Dear Editor?" Yeah. It's like it's a deer. This is a guy with a deer head, and that's it. He's the editor of a newspaper, and he's on the case trying to the investigative journalism. And
it could be good. Are they going for a bit of True Detective or something?
Yeah, it's very gumshoe. Nothing supernatural yet, but it's just the absurdity of this. No, everyone in town's a human except for this guy.
Okay,
it's your editor, and but it's pretty entertaining. Yeah, and it's gumshoey, noirish. So yeah, I mean, Dear Editor, check that one out. That's gonna be that's a sleeper. Don't sleep on Dear Editor.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here.
You heard it here first, folks. There we go.
Power
okay.
Back. Oh, gosh.
I'm just going to scroll down a little bit more. There's nothing else. Blood. Oh no, not Bloodborne.
Junior Baker, Righteous Faker. Oh, good. That's a good one. This is issue 5. Joe Casey.
Yeah.
Brian Quackenbush. Great line art. I mean, this will remind you of those late 80s, early 90s DC Vertigo books, like
Yeah,
Black
that's what I
Orchid,
thought when I saw the first issue, Eric.
Sandman,
Exactly.
just and Hellraiser and Swamp Thing, and just the line art and just the quality of it, and just I'm so happy with this book just because it brings me back to that golden age, or that copper age, one could say, because that's the copper age, 1984 until 1993.
Cool. Okay. That's a recommendation from Sully. The Junior Baker issue 5. Wow, already. Okay, that's awesome. Eric,
Yeah.
okay,
What are
shall we
you
wrap
looking
things
forward
up?
to? Sure, but
As I say, there's not that much that jumps out from next week apart from maybe Spawn, going for that. Yeah, where are we? Let's have another look. Let's have another check.
yeah, I've been doing when I've been doing this thing with League of Comic Geeks. I'll start at the bottom of the page first, zip my way up, and it was just sometimes
That's a
you'll
good
catch some
idea.
stuff at the bottom of the page, and you'll be like, "Oh, I didn't even know that Matt Fraction was doing a comic book with Terry and Rachel Dodson," and
Yeah?
like it's called Adventure Man, and I picked it up, and oh, Klaus Nomi, dude.
Was that any good, Adventure Man?
It
Is it
was
worth a look?
it was okay.
Yeah, okay.
I hate to use the word, but it's woke as fuck. It is.
Woke. Is that still a thing, Eric? I'm lost. I'm lost on woke.
I'm sorry. I don't like
Classic.
using that word because it's
No,
like
I'm the same. I'm the same as you. I think it's kind of
yeah,
it's lost its meaning. It's been overused, hasn't it?
yeah. Well, because just you get the most just progressive people like to push back on that, just saying define woke in this like really pretentious, smug, smarmy, like
What does it
inauthentic.
mean?
Like, what, are you fucking shitting me? Excuse me. I've been doing so good,
No, you're good. You're all right. You're all right.
but it's like, yeah, no, that's up there with like, who was this made for? Like, come on, people
I
just make
know.
movies and shit.
Who? I've
Let's
not been
see.
Eric. I've not been a fan of the Dune series from Boom. It started off okay, but I kind of, I just kind of, I don't know. It lost me on the way.
Yeah, I'm
What
a
do you
Dune
reckon?
purist.
I am as well. I just go for the books over this. Yeah,
This is
unfortunately.
adapted from the Brian Herbert, Kevin J.
Yeah,
Anderson stuff.
Kevin. Yeah, there.
This lost me at the first issue. I bought the first issue, and it lost me because they race swapped Duncan, Idaho,
Oh dear me.
and I'm like, it's just, if you must be a very needy individual if you need to be doing that.
Right.
All right, go ahead, have a race swap anyone you want. Go
Oh
ahead.
dear.
That makes you needy. You know what I mean? There you go. Have
We've
fun.
also got Daredevil Black Armor issue 3 coming out. It's been okay. It's not really won me over. I've been reviewing that with Jim over on
Yeah.
Weird Science Comics.
The New
Yeah.
Punisher by David Upapos.
Ooh, nice. I like that sound.
Yeah, that's my. It's like I edit it myself. You know what I mean? Say, like Greg Upack. all the. You should check out Twitter and see if this guy's blocked you, David Pitpost.
Oh my god. Yeah. I don't even want to try. So yeah, maybe Dracula, if you've been enjoying that. That's coming out issue 4. I think.
Resurrection of Magneto, number 1.
Ooh. Ooh,
Now
let's have a
I'm
look.
thinking
Hello.
that I'm wondering if it's going to be Polaris instead of
Okay, this is Al Ewing writing this. Interesting. Let's have a look. There we go. Ooh.
Oh boy.
Oh, hello. Arthur Adams variant. Look at that.
Oh, cool.
That's pretty cool.
I love Magneto. He's a great character. I don't know if I like him better as a terrorist asshole, like with Grant
Yeah,
Morrison.
yeah, me too. I'm with you on that. Yeah.
And making him into a good guy or an anti-hero or whatever, just like, yeah. But if they can do something, say like, it looks like Lorna Dane, aka Polaris, is having a heel turn, and that's what I got from like the last issue of, I think was it X-Men 30? I'm not sure. Because I'm reading all of these stupid Fall of X books.
How are you going for it, Eric? You read them
Oh
all.
my
That's
God.
impressive. Impressive.
If they're in my digital pirate chest, I read them, and it's like I was tuned into all of those Fall of X minis and the entire. It was like as a lifelong X-Men fan, it's good to be able to see like all of these things. But it's like, oh gosh, like Dark X-Men, it started off so good and it just couldn't land. Alpha Flight started off so good it couldn't land.
Me too. I was into that, Eric, from the start. And like giving it a chance. I was enjoying it, but it just went right off the boil, unfortunately, for me.
You know, Uncanny Spider-Man started off pretty good. Couldn't land. You know, I mean, Uncanny Avengers was okay. You know, that kind of landed, but those were all like, you know, the 5-issue minis that were all trade paperbacks to support the, you know, the Fall of X thing. So it's like, yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's awesome. So before we wrap things up, anything you want to shout out? What have you got coming up on your channel?
Oh, please let people know. Much. I scaled it back just a little bit because you know, to reevaluate. I had to reevaluate my work-life balance, and so yeah, if you know, I used to do daily content, and you know, that's a grind. Don't let it be a grind. It has to be a joy, and so
exactly.
So tomorrow I'll be doing a live stream at 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern, reviewing all the comics that I read this week. And so basically like what we kind of discussed today, but tomorrow on my show. And it's a good time, so come on by. And then on Wednesdays, I do a preview show. Yeah, we use the League of Comic Geeks website and just like say, hey, what's on the menu this week? What are we going to buy at the local comic book shop? And we make a big deal on the show that not only going to your local comic book shop is good because it's a local business, but they're an independent bookstore, and so it's good to, you know, get your supplies there. I needed a lot of bags, boards, and boxes this year. I redid my entire collection. Chances are you might need some supplies too, so don't get them at your big box stores. Buy them at your local comic book shop. You know, they could use the business. Seriously, they need our patronage. I mean, comics aren't gonna fail if we keep going to the store and spending our money there. You know?
That's right. Yeah. Shout out to all LCS's local comic book stores. I miss mine back in Manchester, Eric. Yeah, you know, one day I'll go back. I'll be over in the UK and I will revisit it. Looking forward to that. But yeah, I really appreciate. First of all, I appreciate you coming on. Thank you for taking out the time to do this with me. I'm going to drop this on the channel hopefully later on. Today it's Sunday here for me. It's Sunday morning, so
it's my grandma's tea. It's my grandma's tea. You know, here
Sunday night,
Teahouse.
Japan time. Maybe it'll be early Sunday morning, American time. So I'll drop this on. So please do check out Eric's channel if you've not subscribed. What are you doing? Come on.
Come on,
subscribe for some positive content. Subscribe for some gratitude videos. Subscribe for some bunnies and stars and planets in the morning.
And cooking. I'm a professional chef. I share cooking videos. Beautiful, delicious, nutritious, and beautiful food.
Okay, so I hope to see you soon in a future video. You guys take care out there, and ladies as well if you're still watching. I appreciate you watching this far. Where are we? Let's drop a clip. Here we go, Rick. There's only one thing to say, and it's sayonara, sucker. Eric O'Sullivan, there he is, thanks to him.